The Russian defense military says some troops are returning to their bases after completing drills near the Ukrainian line. Now, it's very unclear whether this is a large number of troops, whether this means the threat of an invasion is over. The U.S. has evacuated its embassy in Kiev and is telling all Americans in the country to get out now. I would love to bring in Leland Vittert right now. He has been a Middle Eastern correspondent. He spent some time in Ukraine back in 2014 and even recently for us here on NewsNation. And Leland, of course, we know you as the host of On Balance with Leland Vittert right here. What do you make of all of these late announcements about Russia pulling back its troops? I see that smirk on your face, and I'd love to know what you're thinking.
Yeah, remember, this is an announcement about them pulling back their troops. We don't have any evidence that they actually have pulled back their troops, number one. So if we want to go back to the Cuban Missile Crisis, where Robert Kennedy famously said we were eye to eye with the Russians and they just blinked. The Russians haven't blinked yet, but perhaps they are looking away at this point. So very, very, very unclear whether this is a head fake, whether this is a chance to see how the United States and our allies are going to react before then ramping things up again. But certainly the really belligerent tone that we had heard from the Russians has been backed off just a little bit. The German chancellor, as much of sort of a feckless and weak-kneed leader as he is and has been towards Russia, is heading to visit both Ukraine and Russia in the next 24, 48 hours to try to make some kind of deal as it relates to the Russians backing off and promising not to invade. So this could have something to do with it. It could also just be a complete lie by Vladimir Putin, who learned his craft at the KGB. So you have to really watch very closely what the Russians are doing, not what they're saying.
Well, we spoke with an American citizen with native Ukrainian ancestry, visiting with his family, living there for about a month now, saying, you know, President Biden should call him if he wants to know what to do next. But also that Ukrainians overall aren't going to believe anything from Russia until they see proof of it. The president, however, the messaging from this administration is get out now to any American citizens. They keep threatening sanctions. It's just a whole lot of loud noise. But what really do sanctions threaten to Russia? What would that mean? What's being taken off the table if Russia does decide to invade?
Well, separate two things. First, the rhetoric from the administration as it relates to U.S. citizens and telling people to get out. Remember how badly the United States and the Biden administration was criticized over the Afghanistan debacle, and how it appeared as though the Biden administration was really caught so flat-footed and didn't understand what the Taliban was going to do and how quickly it was going to take over. So that's why you're seeing this sort of crazed level of rhetoric from the Biden administration. They do not want to be accused of underestimating a threat. Again, when it comes to sanctions, Vladimir Putin runs Russia as his own personal piggy bank. John McCain famously said Russia is a gas station masquerading as a country, and Vladimir Putin owns the gas station. So if there were sanctions against Vladimir Putin and his inner circle, I'm talking about taking away bank accounts of the oligarchs, freezing their assets, impounding their yachts, impounding their jets, travel restrictions. That is something that if it was communicated privately to Putin that this is going to happen, that is something that could have had a really chilling effect on Putin's desire to invade Ukraine. Because on one hand, he has his desire to put the Soviet Union back together and return Mother Russia to glory. On the other hand, he has his billions or hundreds of billions of dollars in personal wealth and all of his oligarch buddies' personal wealth that would hang in the balance. At some point, the desire of the United States was to make the price in dollars so high to Vladimir Putin that the ego boost he was going to get from invading Ukraine and taking Ukraine back just wasn't worth the price.
Leland is always making it sound so simple, and yet these are very complex matters. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.